This video will demonstrate the several ways to add an activity in Results. The first way to add an activity is through the Calendar screen. Through the main menu, there are various options of viewing the calendar, including daily, weekly, and monthly views. Currently, I'm in the monthly view, and if you'd like to add an activity directly to somebody's calendar, you can select their name on the left-hand side and single-click to add the event. When you do this, the activity details behind the scenes will default to everything you have set in your configuration options. To drill down further to see that activity record, you can always double-click and edit notes about it, add locations, and add additional information about that activity here. You can also add activities by double-clicking on a date, which would open up an activity record for you to edit. And when you save this activity, it automatically appears on your calendar. You can also add activities through the Add button in the Activities group under Calendar and Activities. When you click this, an activity record opens up and is ready for you to add information. This also, when you click Save, will save to the calendar of the person you have assigned the activity to. Another way you can add activities in Results is through any of the records that include an Activities tab. For example, if I go to Contacts and open a contact record up, you'll note that the Activities tab has an Add button here. If I'd like to add an activity for this particular contact, you simply click Add, and activity screen will come up. Now on the left-hand side here, you'll see all the previous activities for this particular contact. When you add information here, you'll notice that since I'm adding it from the contact record, it's already linked, so when I click Save, not only will it show up on the person I've assigned it to's calendar, in this example it would show up on Frank's calendar, but it will also show up under Christina's contact record. Let's take a closer look at the Activities screen. The Activities screen has an Activity ID number, which is automatically given to you, and an activity type. All activity types in this dropdown can be customized through the Activity Type Lookup Table. Refer to the Lookup Table videos on how to customize the values in this dropdown. Each user can also set a default activity type based on what they typically add to their calendar the most. So in this case, when I'm signed in under this user, they typically add meetings to their calendar the most, so they've set this to be a meeting as their default activity type, which can always be changed if needed. We have the start time and end time. You can change that if you need to. You can add a description here. This description is what will show up on the calendar. You can assign it to somebody, add a location or status. If it's billable, you would fill out this information. Refer to more information in the user manual about that. You can link it to a particular contact. So you can either search for that contact, or if you know the contact's ID, you can enter that information here and it would automatically show up on this contact record. You can link it to an associate, document, sales opportunity, or project. You also can keep additional notes about the activity, and then you also have additional options for your calendar. For example, if you'd like to receive notifications, if you'd like to show this activity in your calendar or not, or you can set options for recurring activities. You can link products to the activities as well as documents and links. When you're done adding this activity and click Save, you'll notice that since I'm not signed in as Frank, it gives me an option to email Frank and let him know that I've added something to his calendar so he becomes aware of it whether he's logged into Results or not. So if you wish to do that, you can click Yes, and it would send an email with the details of this activity that I've added to his calendar. Or you can choose to bypass that option. And going back to the Links tab, you'll notice that when I click Save, the contact ID that I entered here automatically comes up with Stephen Anderson's name, which was his contact ID, the address, and some basic contact information about him. Now you can send this to your Outlook calendar if you wish by clicking the Send to Outlook button. And additionally, if you ever wanted to notify the assigned, which in this case is Frank, you could do that by clicking the Notify Assigned button, which is just another way of manually triggering that email that would have been sent to Frank when we save the record. To close the loop on this activity, we can go to Frank's calendar and see the activity set for March 17th. So I'll go to the Calendar tab here. I'm going to select Frank, and you can see on March 17th there is a meeting showing up on his calendar.